Four, 3, 2, 1, go. Hey guys, Ryan here, Brill on the commentary. This is gonna be the first set in Group 7 of the MSL Survivor Tournament. This is gonna be between Bisu and Modesty, playing against each other on Fighting Spirit. Holy crap, what the hell did you do with your hair? Bisu's gone ginger. Oh my god. Okay. Bork power indeed. So, yeah, this is going to be a Fighting Spirit. We're going to have Modesty at the lower left-hand position as the red Zerg. We're going to have Bisu at the lower right-hand position as the yellow Protoss. And I'm so shocked right now. I hardly have any word. Oh, God, Bisu, what did you do to yourself? Oh, actually, I'm not surprised. He's always changing his hairdo. Funky Koreans. Funky little Korean people. And we just gotta have to live with your funkiness, with your immense funkiness. Now, Fighting Spirit, fairly equal map, especially in this matchup. I just kind of overall like it. In some cases, I'm actually surprised that Zergs haven't been more successful on this map against Protoss, just because, honestly, that they have a third base that they should be able to take and hold and reinforce because it's not that far away from their two main bases. So a third 3-base gas build should not be a big trouble. Beast right now, after putting on his pylon, sending out a probe to the upper right hand. He's gonna scout counterclockwise, gonna make it so he scouts Modesty pretty late. Modesty, meanwhile, apparently gonna go for a 12 hatch. This is a 4-player map, so it doesn't gonna feel safe to do it. We're probably gonna see if Bisu gets the counter. He's sending out his second probe to scout actually towards the lower left hand. He's gonna spot the 12 o'clock. The 12 pull, 12 hatch. What am I talking about? But as soon as he does that, he should might actually put down his Nexus before he puts down any cannon. As soon as he spot that, that's what I'm assuming he's gonna do. He's gonna meanwhile put his initial scouting probe back to his own base. Meanwhile, he's gonna try to be a little bit annoying with his initial probe, as Bisu always does. Now, Bisu recently, last time around in the OSL, a round of 16, and kind of the MSL as well, just kind of failed a little bit against players of lesser caliber than himself. I think it's just part of him being a little cocky or something. He just kind of failed and didn't play up to his potential. He's going to go for the Nexus before cannon. Psychic! Might even probably even going to plot that in Gateway before he puts down the initial cannon. Meanwhile, Spawning Pit almost ready for Modesty. But yeah, so Bisu in this group of Luxury and Baby, which are playing the second set, and Bisu and Modesty. I gotta say Bisu should be the heavy favorite, but he's been the heavy favorite before, so you never know what's gonna happen. Modesty, meanwhile, gonna put down his third hatchery, gonna go for that heavy macro build. And Modesty kind of he's not one of those big name players, but he's still a cog in the well-working STX Soul machine. He's not really one of their heavy hitters or anything, but he is a player that can pull off surprising wins here and there. He's kind of, I guess you could say, Modesty and Notice are player like that. Those are the two players that kind of people don't really know much about, but they do the but they do the important things that are necessary to get the thing working. Meanwhile, now Drone almost getting killed, but regenerating enough HP so that Bisu backs off a little bit. Plus with those Zerglings at the front, really not going to be able to do much. But only 4 Zerglings produced at the moment. Meanwhile, Lair coming up alongside. Bisu has 1 cannon, might even wait on the second cannon a little bit. We'll, however, put that down just to make sure there's not going to be any Hydra bust. He doesn't want to. Sometimes when Protoss players kind of go easy on the cannons, only use 1 cannon, suddenly find themselves having to warp in 4 alongside instantly a little bit too late because they have a control group of Hydras breaking through. But Bisu, as always, being very, very good with his probe scout, just running around all over the place, doing a pretty good job of dodging those attacks. But yeah, Modesty, as I said, he's not really one of the aces of STX Soul like Calm, Hwasun, and Cal. Calm and Cal, especially, I believe, are the best players of STX Soul right now. But STX Soul is overall a pretty well-balanced team. They have role players here in their Modesty, a very good ZVZ player. ZVP is his worst matchup, so he has some his work cut out for him in this matchup. His ZVT also really nothing that great, but his ZVZ very good, so he can act as a sniper for the team when necessary. Kind of like what Hyuk does for T1. He can play ZVZs, but try him to play a decent ZVT, and he'll just end up failing pretty badly for you. See Bisu meanwhile putting down his Stargate. Don't see any additional tech come down for him. If he was going for the good old standard Bisu build, which we haven't really been seeing much at all lately, just because people are, you know, kind of like the way Zergs play these days doesn't really, especially with building placement, doesn't really allow Dark Tempers to be very effective. With finally with speed on those Zerglings, finally allows Modesty to pick off that that probe. But yeah, Bisu, don't say any tech. He's just gonna go for finally putting down his little Ladoon. Is going to get that initial Corsair out there to continue the scout. And I'm not really sure if he's actually... I don't think he's going to continue the scouting at the moment. Probably going to go out and kill an Overlord before he does anything else. There's a Spar Mill coming up for Modesty. And I think a smart idea for Modesty right now would be a switch up. Because I see some Zerg players go for these 3 bases. Fake a Sauron build. Fake the Heavy Hydra army. And just go for heavy mutas right off the gate. Try to get a control group of mutas out there, maybe a little bit more. Put on some heavy pressure, and then go for a ground army alongside after doing some damage with heavy mutalisk attack. One single Corsair out there did pick off the initial overlord. Now we're going to go around and scout, possibly try to find another one to hunt down. Modesty Zerg is there foolishly engaging 3 Zealots at Bisu's front. Bisu definitely with enough micromanagement to take care of that. Has 2 Corsairs now out in the field. Probably going to manage, possibly, and as the Scourge are coming out right this moment, he's maybe going to manage to pick up another Overlord. Just going to, for now, be the scout, getting the building placement and all that. Modesty has a pretty decent block at the front with a hatchery and a den. Meanwhile, Temple Archives, and I totally missed what the second building was. I'm not quite sure. I apologize about that. Might have been a robotics facility. I'm not overall quite sure, but he is going to have... Just wondering whether he's actually going to try to go for some DTS attacks. We're just going to transition to the standard army. Going to lose probably one of his Corsairs to the second Scourge unless he just barely... Nope, he's going to manage to get him to the safety of the cannons. Modesty is going to pull back, halt that Scourge there. Meanwhile, yeah, putting on the Scourge inside of Bisu's base. There's the Temple Archives coming up, but yeah, Bisu not producing any more Corsairs, just 2 initial Corsairs, so I don't think he's going to go for DT attack. Meanwhile, has 5 Zealots out there, putting a little bit of treasure. 6 Zealots, but with no speed and no weapons one, there's